Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends! Welcome to Kardec Radio and welcome to another prayer for peace. We are here gathered, friends, in this beautiful day to read a message, to reflect, and to pray together. Prayer is so important, is vital to our lives. It's in these moments that we can recalibrate ourselves. We can enter in the currency of the higher spirits who are always with us. And today they bring a message that brings much for our reflection. Today we're going to read a message from this book, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, psychographed by our dear Chico Xavier through the Spirit Emmanuel. We're going to read message 144. And remember, we read a message to be able to connect ourselves, to enter in this currency, to truly be able to reflect. So today's message is titled, What Do We Have to Do with Christ? It starts with a quote from Mark chapter 1, verses 24. Oh, what do we have to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. It is a big mistake to believe that the Divine Master finished his work on the Calvary. Jesus continues to walk in every direction in the world. His redemptive gospel is triumphing little by little on the terrain of human hearts. The fact must be remembered, for evil spirits are trying to repel the Lord every day. Here, the evangelist is referring to the evil spirits that took over a man's body. However, such infernal intelligence continue to dominate vast organizations on earth. In the political area, for instance, which was created to maintain the principles of divine order, they appear under the names of discord and tyranny. In the area of commerce, formed to establish fraternity, they appear under the names of ambition and selfishness. And in religion and science, which are sacred organizations of universal progress, they answer to the names of pride, vanity, dogmatism, and sectarian intolerance. It is not only the human physical body that can suffer from obsession by evil spirits. Human organizations and institutions suffer much more from it. And when Jesus draws nigh through the gospel, people and organizations quickly ask, what do we have to do with Christ? That is, what do we have to do with the spiritual life? It is necessary to be on the alert in the presence of such subtleness, for the enemy has also infiltrated the circles of evangelical spiritism, dressed in the glistening tunics of false knowledge. Friends, this message tonight is a very serious message. Emmanuel in this message is reminding us that, remember, Jesus is the governor of our planet. He incarnated on earth to be our guiding model, to exemplify to us. But every day, as he says, evil spirits are trying to repel the Lord. Friends, when Emmanuel in Spiritism, we study that the word evil is used to say is the lack of the truth, the lack of knowledge. They don't know yet. Imagine, it's like we have the sunlight and then we have the shadow. So evil, when he says evil spirits, are those that have not yet opened their hearts to Christ. So he reminds us it's not only on the Calvary that Jesus faced those that did not wanted him and his teachings to spread on earth. Every day they continue in both realms, in the incarnate and then discarnate realms, trying to combat the works of the good. And as Emmanuel reminds us, this is very important because people think that these spirits are only infiltrated in certain areas, but he say in every area, and especially as he mentions in organizations and institutions, they suffer much more from the obsession of evil spirits. It's in the political arena when instead of in spreading peace and harmony, we have political leaders that are inciting violence and tyranny, conflict. He mentions it's when, for example, in the area of commerce, that should establish fraternity amongst people, but then we have ambition and selfishness. And then he says this also invades the circles of religion and science. It's when we saw, for example, those during the pandemic that were going against science. Science was saying, vaccinate yourself, protect yourself, wear mask. And people were against it. Friends, this is not a political side. We're siding with the truth, with Jesus. Jesus brought us science to show us the truth, and science was saying, we have tools to protect you. So those are works of the evil, and they infiltrate all areas, including in the spiritist center. And why? How do they come? Very subtle, friends. We see it so often. People come and they say, oh, I'm gonna do this, but in my time, when I have time, my focus is in my family. I need to focus on my family, my husband, my wife, my daughter, my son. And then they put it aside. And then they say, oh, they go to the center, but they already are counting the minutes to leave. And there are people there who need their help. So they want to help, but in their own time, in their own agenda. That's not what Jesus told us. Jesus not said, come and show us, oh, I'm going to help you when I have time. Because first I'm going to dedicate my time to my mom, to my disciples. We never saw Jesus doing that. On the contrary, we saw him stopping everything that he was doing to help everyone. So we need to be careful, friends. Through this subtle, as it says, it's very subtle, infiltrations of evil, and ask ourselves, are we being instruments of those spirits in our spiritist center, in our communities, in our homes? Is when people come in our homes and they need our attention. They need us to be patient and tolerance. Maybe because we already have an understanding that they still need to grasp. So we are the ones that need to stop and say, okay, I'm going to be patient and kind. But instead, we create a war inside of our own homes. Friends, we're here for prayer for peace. For peace in the world to be manifested in the world, it needs to start within us, first and foremost, in our closest circles. If not, it will never be able to be manifested in other areas. So tonight's message is much for us to reflect. And let us read, before we close for our prayer, the last paragraph. Emmanuel says, it is necessary to be on the alert in the presence of such subtleness, for the enemy has also infiltrated the circles of evangelical spiritism, dressed in the glistening tunics of false knowledge. Friends, how do we combat this false knowledge? This Words that come from the spirits that say, you are dedicating yourself, you are doing too much, you are a fanatic. Friends, let us remember the work of the Christ. How do we combat false knowledge? With the truth. There is only one truth. So that's why we need to read these books. We need to study these books to truly get rid of this false knowledge. Yes, we need to be on the alert. We only gonna combat false knowledge if we know the truth, if we study. Starting with the books by Kardec, by the books of Chico Xavier, Divaldo Franco. We have such a rich literature, but we need to study. If not, we're gonna be easy target for those spirits who want to come, and they will whisper either in the physical realm or the spiritual realm in our ears that we need to do different. Jesus came as our guiding model to exemplify peace, love, courage, work, selflessness, and humility. So that should be our focus. Let us now pray, friends. We invite everyone to close your eyes. Feeling the presence of the dear mentors and guides who guide our lives. We raise our thoughts to our dear Master Jesus. Let us visualize Him in front of us with His kind, benevolent smile. And then we ask ourselves, what do we have to do with the Christ? How can I be a servant of the Christ in my everyday choices? And Emmanuel comes and showed us to focus on the good, exemplifying the good. To, in our everyday step, be a servant of Master Jesus, spreading peace, love, humility, charity, kindness. Dear Master Jesus, we pray for the spirits who have not yet opened their hearts to you, and they infiltrate all circles of life, including spiritist centers, whispering false knowledge, inciting tyranny, selfishness, pride. Master Jesus, we pray for these spirits because they don't know yet what they're doing. But we know we also have our own parts, because they would not be able to influence us if we also didn't open ourselves. So we pray, Master Jesus, that we can stay strong, focusing on the works of the good always, and focusing on the truth, because the truth is all that is. And there is only one truth that comes from God. Master Jesus, we pray that everyone in the circle of prayer feel your presence, feel your loving kindness. We pray for everyone at this moment in hospitals, nursing homes, shelters, those who are without homes, especially in this cold weather of the Northern Hemisphere. We pray for those in zones of war, conflict, not only amongst countries, but also wars within their own homes. We pray that they can find the strength for peace, forgiveness, understanding, courage, not to give up, trusting in you, Master Jesus, and your designs, today and always. We ask for your permission to close this prayer of tonight, and so be it. Dear friends, what a blessing to be here in these beautiful moments of prayer. We hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening. Let us reflect on these words by Emmanuel, and let us stay strong, friends. We are never alone. Let us not forget this. Jesus is with us always, and we trust him. We hope that you feel this embrace, and we will see you here, yes, tomorrow for another 6 p.m. prayer for peace. Stay connected with us, friends, because at Kardec Radio, we're always nourishing our souls. See you soon.